So how do we achieve business results through our connections, through our network in Canada? Click here the subscribe button and set up the alert. And if the content of this video is useful, let us know by clicking the like button. So first question is, who's the right connection, right? And right here the problems start, because it's not necessarily someone at the top of the organization. If you're coming from an emerging country, you may feel confused now, saying, but hang on a second, the boss calls a shot, so I should look for contact at the top, and that person's gonna make the decision. Well, this is a very typical way of thinking if we come from emerging countries, because that's how it is back home. Remember that Canada is a society that is much flatter, there's much less difference between the top and the bottom, and work, even in business, tends to be much more collaborative. So that means decisions are made by a group of people most of the time, not necessarily by the boss, right? Of course, the boss makes the final decision, but with very strong inputs from everybody, and typically we take everything into consideration. So the right connection is not necessarily someone at the top. Who is the right contact at a business? It's a person, it's an individual, it's a position that has a problem that you understand very well, that problem, because that's what your business sells, a product or a service that addresses the problem that that person has. And you know that your product or your service can solve this problem better than any other option in the market, right? So this is the first trick. Find the right person with the right profile, right? And what we see is that time and again, a lot of foreign businesses in Canada or immigrant business person in Canada, they waste a lot of time chasing the wrong connections, because they tend to be, oh, I need to talk to the president, the CEO, and this and that. And you may get the contact, may get a business card, may have a nice conversation, had a coffee, oh, we had a great connection with the CEO of this and that. In the end of the day, business doesn't materialize, because again, that's not how business is closed in Canada. You may get the right person, they're gonna say, sure, send me your material, I'm gonna send to our team, because the team is gonna make the decision, not that person that you shook hands at an event. Okay, let's say now you found the right person. Great. And now what do these contacts expect from you as immigrant business person in Canada who's trying to make a pitch? Oh, switch to my product, to my service, that it's going to be better for you. They of course want to know that your business have knowledge and experience that is relevant to the discussion you're going to have. But here's a trap. Don't fall to the temptation to talk too much about yourself, especially if the experience and the successes have been in a different country, in a different context. Because instead of giving people comfort that you have experience and knowledge, you will be sowing doubts in their brain that your experience and knowledge may be great, but it's from a different reality that doesn't necessarily translate to Canada. So be careful, because talking too much about you may be creating more doubt than conviction in the minds of the right contacts who may become your client or may introduce you to a client. So they need to know that you have the relevant knowledge and experience, but don't go too much in detail about your past. The second thing, they want to know that you're willing to learn, because especially if you're relatively new to Canada, they want to understand that you're coachable, that the information they're giving you, you are understanding, internalizing, and turning that into action for learning. They want to know that you're willing to learn. Also, they want to know that you are well structured. And well structured, what does that mean? Well, three things specifically. You have a plan, could be written, could be very short. We talk about business plans here in other videos, but they need to know that you have a plan and that you know how to quickly articulate this plan with very short supporting materials. So please don't send a Canadian a lengthy PowerPoint presentation even before meeting with them. That's not respectful to their time. They want to know, yes, what you do, but in very short presentation. Don't assume they have time to go through 18 pages. And also just don't guide them to the website. Make the effort to prepare a very quick summary, a one-pager like we call it here in Canada. That's the first thing. They want to know you have a plan. The second thing, they want to know that you have a solid process and resources to follow the plan. Oh yeah, this is how I go about by implementing my plan. These are the people, this is the resource, this is where my office is, this is what we're doing, the systems that we're using, or the institutions that we're connecting with, or the programs that we are participating. They want to know that you have a solid process. That's really important. The third thing that's really important is that people will know that you will incorporate the feedback that they're giving you about your plan and your process. It's really important to show people that you're listening, that you're not there just to make your presentation, your pitch. You're not in a convincing meeting. It's more by showing that you understand their reality and you're willing to learn and to incorporate the feedback that they're giving you. And the last thing that's very important, and I've seen this derail a lot of efforts in Canada, people want to know that your timing expectation is reasonable based on the Canadian reality. So I've seen many times, I have discussed this in several other videos in this channel, and we talk about how the perception of timing in business is different from people in Canada to people in an emerging country, for example. Just a quick recap. In emerging country, because of the instability, political, economic, and whatnot, what happens is that windows of opportunities, they open and close very quickly. So business people are trained to take best advantage of the opportunity very quickly when it presents itself. So that creates a short-term horizon. If you want to succeed in business in an emerging country, you better be quick. You better don't sit down and plan too much and wait too long, because then the opportunity is gone, right? Or new risks are gonna arrive. In Canada, because of the stability of the process, the systems, the institutions, and all of that, there is a bigger expectation that good things will take time. So if you come across as having too much of an anxiety that, oh, but I want this now and let's close the business, you're gonna turn them off. So let's talk about how you may turn off your connections. First thing, you do not talk too much about yourself, about your business. You are there to learn. If you talk too much about yourself, what you're showing the Canadian side is that you're not listening. You're just interested in convincing them. No, you're not listening. So listen. So you turn off your connections by talking too much. The second way that you turn off your connections is that if you're not prepared, if you don't articulate a concise, clear plan, if you don't have something that very quickly makes very clear to them what it is that you're doing in Canada, why you're here, why you think you're adding value, and how you prove that you can deliver what you're promising. You have to have that very quickly, very short material, and you need to come across and you need to talk about that. So don't pay somebody to write your business plan. You have to write yourself, even if it's a short one page. And then later, if you want to make it bigger, you can get some help. But you need to have your business plan in your head first before you can start to talk to people in Canada. Also, the other way to turn off connections here is that if you don't provide any traction, if you don't show any evidence, it doesn't have to be necessarily results. It doesn't have to be, ideally, yes, of course, if you have already clients in Canada and you have results to show in Canada, that goes a long way. You should always be able to show that you're taking actions that evidence the learnings that you're absorbing. So if you're learning, if you went to previous meetings with these people, they told you some things and you incorporated this learning, turned this learning into action, that's how you show them that you're learning and you're adapting, right? And again, you turn them off very quickly if you seem anxious and in a hurry to close. Oh yeah, no, you see, we can do it here. So like, when can we do it? Canadians like time to think, to absorb, to involve other people. So be prepared to be patient and respectful for time. Be ready, be on time, be there, be following up, of course, but not in a hurry. You can move quickly without being in a hurry. Just means that, yes, you're prepared to move quickly. Hurry displays anxiety. You're not anxious. You're prepared, therefore you are able to move quickly if needed be. if the circumstance is right to move quickly, but you're not displaying your anxiety by being in a hurry, right? Here's 2 videos for you with a lot more details about some of the things we discussed here today. Good luck.